He's still the most formidable, fascinating, frustrating, irritating individual I think I've ever known in my entire life. He was huge. I mean, just as a huge character, not only standing 6'4", but when you talk to him, he violated the normal human space between people. So he would be right on top of you. You'd be sort of looking up into his chest. He had an enormous voice. He was a great storyteller. The problem was that half his stories I discovered weren't true. There was this great time I was swimming with him in this pool that he has at his ranch. It's an amazing pool that he created so that it could be a working pool. So at every moment when you're trying to swim in it, floating rafts came by with floating telephones on top of them, other floating rafts with floating desks and notepads. And in the middle of it, I had read an article that day by Hugh Sidey, a reporter, who had said that Johnson had given a great speech to the troops who were going to Vietnam in which he talked about patriotism. And in the speech, he mentioned that his great-great-grandfather had died at the Battle of the Alamo. And Hugh Sidey said it was a wonderful speech. The only problem was that he didn't have a great-great-grandfather who died at the Alamo. He just wanted to have one so much that he'd kind of made him up. So I turned to President Johnson. I said, "How can you do that?" And he looked back at me and he said, "Oh, these journalists, they're such sticklers for detail." And it was then that I realized that I could only believe half of what he told me.